Hey, welcome to A Seat at the Table.
This is our podcast that Rejoice in the Lord Ministries has really blessed us with to have opportunity to be on.
Yeah, sure. I'm Alexis.
I'm Jamari.
Come on. So we've been talking about woven
Yes.
here at Rejoice.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
My thought, this is a really good sermon series that I've enjoyed.
Yeah.
Definitely talked about so many things about how our generations can be intertwined with each other and it doesn't have to be
Or like interweaving.
it doesn't have to be a separate thing for any of us.
I agree. I think this series has really told me just how interwoven we all are.
Yeah.
Generationally. Yeah.
Instead of us being separated from each other, we're much more closer than we think.
Yes. Okay, so for anybody who doesn't go to Rejoice,
Right.
hasn't heard woven,
Right.
what is woven? Actually, give us a sentence.
A sentence.
One sentence.
Okay. It's when different generations come together and they help each other grow and see the value in one another.
Okay. I like that answer. We're going to go with your answer.
Oh,
We're going to go with his answer, guys. His answer is the correct answer. But I agree. 10 out of 10. Yeah, I have to actually agree. I agree. Okay.
So if we like switch phones right now, what would your algorithm look like?
Okay. 3 categories.
All right, I'm listening.
Baking.
Okay.
Don't ask.
Baking. There's no.
Shoes.
Shoes.
Heels.
Okay.
I'm just a girl.
Okay.
Okay. Baking, heels, shoes, but also Bible study.
Okay.
Because I've really been wanting to like work better ways to get my Bible study in daily, not just like on a Wednesday.
Yeah, no.
Or like on Sunday.
Be more intentional with your.
Yes. Daily time with the Lord.
Yeah.
Besides just like praying and like, your day-to-day like speak to the Lord.
Yeah, no.
But yeah.
I understand that.
What is your algorithm?
By biblical motivation, because like there's some raunchy like motivational speakers sometimes.
Right.
We're talking about nothing and something at the same time.
True.
So, biblical motivation, traveling to Japan. So like genuinely like all the setups, the places, the things, the travel tickets, and the apps you need to download, all of that. And animated. So that's my entire feed. That was my entire feed.
Real. Traveling to Japan, I actually that's also on my bucket list as well.
It's preparing me.
Really?
I don't speak no Japanese though, so I feel like I gotta figure that out before
and spread the word.
Yes.
Okay. So so let's dive in.
Yes.
Let's dive in. So my first question to you, what are we actually losing when the algorithm sorts us away from other generations?
It's really the connection that we're losing when the algorithm sorts us. It gives us like so much individualism, and it makes it seem like we're the only one in the room at times. It makes it seem like we can't ever connect with anybody else, or can't connect with like people around us, especially when it comes to like community or like even in our own time, in our own space, even with the Lord. It's very individual and like, oh, this is what you have to do. And then we get stuck doom scrolling or is stuck and we look up and then we look down and then the time flies.
Yeah. I remember we spoke about that in our Bible study,
Yeah.
like just the importance of community.
100%.
And I feel like the connection, like you said, but also I feel like you kind of lose a lack of understanding because you gain a lot of wisdom from the other generations and just from other people, like different perspectives.
Honestly.
So you kind of lose that aspect as well.
Yeah, I think algorithm creates like a bubble.
Yeah.
For yourself, and it's just you.
Yeah.
Instead of like the world around us and what like the Lord has provided for us. And
exactly.
We'll lose sight of that so much, like so fast, because we're just so connected to it so deeply. It really picks us apart in such a like unique way. Like it was like, oh, this is what you like, so we're gonna just keep putting this in your face. And to the point where you get so distracted where you can't notice anything else around us, especially.
It can also be a sense of control.
Yeah.
That might be a stretch, but yeah.
I can see what you're doing.
Yeah, it might be. It low-key is a sense of control because you're only gripping to those voices.
Right.
Like that are on the main page. Because like realistically, there's 40 pages and there's a following. Most people are not going on the following. Yeah. Most people stick to the 40 page and you're only listening to those. You're not even really hearing like outside voices.
Yeah, and that can really like make you blind to and remove you from hearing things from the Lord, but also from other people as well.
Yes, I agree.
So, do you know what the algorithm is doing to us to keep us engaged? Well, we kind of like briefly like talked about it.
Yeah. I mean, they're very strategic with the individualism.
100%.
We spoke up about that. That is probably what's keeping us engaged.
Like,
To the whole, like, kind of like doing it alone,
yeah,
that movement. Because I'm all for having individuality, but the Lord doesn't call for us to isolate and like be by ourselves for the entirety of it. You hear what I'm saying?
yeah,
That makes sense.
100%. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I agree with you on that. I'll
Cut that. Okay, so my next question is what? Actually, let's read the verse.
Okay.
Okay.
What verse are we gonna?
The verse is Proverbs 27:17. Turn with me.
Okay.
Iron sharpens iron, and one person sharpens another. So my question is, what does iron sharpening iron actually mean for somebody our age? Loaded.
Yeah, no, it is really, because that's like really a good verse of understanding like we is a need for people.
Mm-hmm.
What in our age, I think it's really somebody who's willing to challenge you in your goals and your aspirations and what God is telling you to do. Be around people who truly like want better for you and want you to get closer to the Lord. It's the people that aren't always yes men. Like the people that will be like, okay, are you sure? Do you want to do this?
Yeah.
That's because it's more friction and sparks too. It's not just a thing of like, oh, I'm just gonna let it fly and let it slide.
Mm-hmm.
Like especially when it comes to like when we're entering the workforce and around our age and in college.
Yes.
I think that's a very important thing to grasp is to find people like that to keep us going in the goals and aspirations. Because if we have just a lot of yes men around us, we ain't gonna grow. You're gonna be closer to the Lord. We're not gonna progress as people.
Okay, so then to my next question to that, because that's a really good point.
Yeah.
So then what does that even look like?
Like a person sharpening you?
Yes.
It literally, like I said, it's just not a yes man. It's really like, for example, if I came to you and I was just, and you know, like I'm a chef.
Mm-hmm.
So I came to you, I was like, Alexis, I'm not going to cook anymore. And you're just like, wait, hold on. Like we talked about this, God gave me this call.
Exactly.
Like you're going to stop what God called you to do. And it's like you stopped me in my tracks and you explained to me like, okay, this is what God called you to do. Why would you stop it? And then I explain whatever scenario would give you the most foolish reason why. And you're just like, okay, well, let's go back to what God asked you to do. Is it prosperous? Is it helping you live? Is it increasing the things around you? Is it really bringing value? Is it really getting you closer to God and living out his mission in doing this?
Yeah.
And if all the answers are yes, then what are we talking about? Like that's really why we define like a person who's sharpening you. That's like one of the examples I can give, but also person that can motivate you as well. It's not just like person that's like trying to clock you all the time, but somebody that can also just be a helping hand and trying time.
I have to agree. Definitely a person that is willing to give you that constructive criticism. Honestly, willing to tell you the truth.
Right.
The truth in love, though.
Yeah, 100%.
So not in a way that's like harmful. Granted, sometimes the truth is hard to hear.
100%.
But with love, I definitely think that's iron sharpening iron.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Like, I don't think you can just approach it and be like, hey, yo, you did this wrong.
Yeah.
Like, there's definitely a way of like a certain amount of grace, patience, kindness. Like, when you look at the fruits of the spirit, like as really what you gotta also keep in mind when you are sharpening somebody. It's not just a point finger and you just did wrong.
Exactly. It shouldn't just be like a negative. It shouldn't really just be a lot of negativeness. Like, oh, this is that's wrong. That's wrong. Because then it's like they're not going to be receptive.
Oh no,
they're not. Yeah, they're not going to hear that.
100%.
And then I feel like that's also something you have to kind of worry about when iron sharpening iron in a way, when coming to somebody and letting them know like, hey, this is, are they going to be receptive to your approach?
Yeah, 100%. And that's why like when you like pray about it and also conform with like other people more than just one, like you'll be able to find that approach. And even then, if they can't accept the approach, you're coming from a place of love, and all you can really do is just pray for them like that.
That's so crazy. You mentioned the fruit of the spirit. That's actually a really good one. I didn't think to mention. Like, that's really good. Yeah, that's really good.
All right. Well, next verse. Proverbs 18:1. Whoever isolates himself seeks his own desire. He breaks out against all wisdom. That's sound wisdom. That's really good.
That's really good.
So after hearing that, I want to ask you, how is a For You page to form isolation?
Wow. Okay. So honestly, because you spend so much time on the For You page,
Yeah.
and the amount of time you spend on this,
Yeah.
I think in a way, if you're only collecting the data from the For You page,
Yeah.
you're not seeking any other outside resource. Like, you're not talking with your community. You're not in your Bible. You're not coming to Sunday service. That is a form of isolation
100%.
because you're only hearing these voices. And also, I think people forget that the For You page is curated. So everything that you're hearing is because you liked it. Of course, it's going to agree with you.
Right.
Most of the time.
It's not even going to even like try to challenge you at all because it's for you.
Exactly.
And then that, like I said, what we talked about earlier, that bubble is just very confined and very hard to pop when somebody's really like into it.
Would you agree though? You, because
Yes, I do. I concur.
I'd have to. Yeah. I think also,
Yeah.
the Bible speaks specifically to that isolation, because also, this is really good actually, because it ties back into the individualism or individuality that people like, because the algorithm can push that whole like doing it alone, do it alone. Or I'm trying to think of another saying, but they're like, do it alone or do it by yourself.
Yeah, what the world is saying is like, oh, you can definitely like just push through. Just
Exactly.
Get back up.
And just keep going. But in reality, I feel like that you're not really feeding your spirit
No.
when you're isolated.
No, not even close.
Yeah. And the only reason I could think that God would call you into an isolation or somewhere where, I wouldn't even say it's an isolation. Maybe it's a separation.
Yeah, 100%. That's
from other things, but it's really to pull you back to him. And when you're with him, you're never really isolated.
exactly.
You're never really by yourself.
Especially when you like have his presence with you at all times.
Exactly.
There's not ever an isolation thing.
Exactly. Okay, moving on. Ecclesiastes 4:9.
That's my favorite book.
Oh, you gotta take that verse too. Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Where'd you go? All right. So 2 are better than 1 because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his fellow, but woe to him who is alone when he falls and has not another to lift him up.
Okay. So what does falling look like when you have no older voices, no wisdom, no seasoned saints, if you will? Yeah. What does that look like?
Like, I think that's what the church is really for. Like, that's why we have so many different generations in the church. And that's why I love the church, because there is the seasoned saints, the people that are in their faith for a lot longer. What that looks like, it's really long. Like, it's very stubborn. It's very...
It's harder too.
100%.
Yeah.
Asking for a difficult life. It's crazy because God doesn't even want us to live it. Like, he already knows that life is difficult.
Exactly.
So it's not even a thing of wanting to live life difficultly. It's just the thing of knowing that life is hard, and that's why we need the community around us. The stubbornness of people when they think like, it's my way, it has to get done this way, and I have to experience life to the fullest and all of that. When there's people in the faith, like, for example, Pastor Zach, and
right.
I've had talks with him, when he tells me like, hey, I've been there, done that, lived this certain way of living, it's not wise for you to live that way.
Sometimes people are hard-headed though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not wise for you to live that way, or it wouldn't be like ideal. I can either take it at face value or I can ignore it. But if I ignore it, then I'm going to go through the things that he already warned me to not.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like, that's really the truth and honest about it.
And I think also, like, God will place certain people, age ranges included, in your life for a reason. 9 times out of 10, there is an experience, like you said, that they probably have gone through either something similar or the exact same one.
Yeah.
So it's really in your hands, which is also God, because he gives you free will.
Yeah.
2, 1, take the decision, take what they said, take their advice.
Yeah.
Or don't. And 9 times out of 10, you should.
No, like, there's no way of the bus, especially when somebody who like prayed over it and really like took the consideration to come out of love.
Yeah.
And like tell you like, yeah, don't do that. Like, please do not do that.
To agree. I have to agree. Who is one real person, not a celebrity, who has actually sharpened you, and what made them different?
I would say it was a man of God. He's still in my life right now. His name is Joseph. He's one of my bestest friends ever. He's in my circle. He's a chef like me. We worked together at one point, and I was his boss. And he gave, even though I was his boss, he was a church leader already. And when I was coming up running a restaurant, I was 20 years old running a restaurant, and he gave me so much leadership advice, even though he wasn't a leader in the kitchen, because that's what I needed in time. I was like doubtful. I was still like timid and hesitant on making certain moves, but him being honest with me and telling me like, okay, as a leader, you're supposed to just stand on the principles of things. Like you got to stand on a strong foundation. You got to make sure. And he's just giving me biblical, like biblical relatability, biblical background on why I should be doing the things I'm doing. And I really found it useful because he even backed it up with scripture. So I appreciated everything he did for me in that moment.
Right. I would say for me, a lot of it is, most of the time, it's my immediate family. So I would say either my parents or my grandmother.
Right.
Just because I have my own doubts. And I feel like with us being young, you know, we don't know everything, even though sometimes we post like we do.
Yeah.
It's okay. With us being like young, there are a lot of situations that I've come into encounter with, but like I didn't have the biblical advice. I had probably regular worldly advice, but not the biblical advice already up here to be able to solve that. So coming to them about it and then getting, like you said, that biblical background, but also just like how in reassurance and confirmation, like, hey, but you're on the right track. That changes things. It's different from getting regular advice.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It feels like way more affirming, actually.
Literally making sure you're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
To like just being like, hey, this might work.
Yeah, this might work. But it's way more affirming when you hear like God's got you, or God's on your side, or like just things of that nature. Way more encouraging
compared to just, this might work.
Right. And it takes like the doubt and the fear away from the situation. Yeah. Because now I feel like way more confident going into it. Yeah. So.
And like knowing the truths about it is very important. So.
Exactly.
So I wanted to just change subjects just a little bit.
Okay.
Let's talk about how the older generation can be very like nitpicky, right? Like can we like agree on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so like what happens when they become like comment section police or like more of like very critique on you and like your walk?
This is a really good question. I think it can shut someone down.
Yeah.
And it can be a little discouraging for sure. Just because like most of the time when I look at the older generation, I see their walk, there is supposed to be a sense of relatability. But if you immediately come and kind of shut down, like maybe a new idea or something, a new strategy, like I said, like my For You page was like, better ways to Bible study. Yeah. So if I come to you or if I go to someone who's a little bit older than me and they're like, I wouldn't do that. That's not going to work. Or you're not going to learn anything. That can be discouraging because not only do I feel like my plan's not working, but now I feel like I've been down the wrong path. Like I wasn't even on the right track. Does that make sense?
100%.
Like I wasn't even born.
Right. And I agree with you. Like, I think it's like you said, it's discouraging. And I think they forget sometimes where they came from.
Yes. Like where we started.
Right. Because like at any point in time, like it's not just an older thing. Holier than thou mentality can develop, but like that's where it comes into remembering like we're all human,
right?
That very focal human, like that didn't change. The mistakes happen, like we did that. It's more now, I think, especially like with them doing, like when certain people do that, I believe like they should come, like we talked about, from a place of love. It's an encouraging thing that somebody even took the time out of their day to come to you for biblical advice because they trusted you with something more than, like you said, you feel like you're on the right path because you trusted them. That's something personal.
Right, exactly.
Like, and
you're kind of vulnerable too. That's not easy either.
Right.
That's pretty scary to be vulnerable about something that you're very unsure about, and something so intimate, especially when it comes to like your walk with Christ.
Right.
So you don't want to be met with that like energy of like, no.
Right. Immediately just pushed off or shrugged off. Like,
Exactly. It's like dismiss it.
right.
Yeah. So you think the reverse, okay, like sidebar question. Do you think it's the reverse can happen where let's say maybe I'm trying to think of a scenario. Let's say like in the older generation came, like let's take you and I, for example.
Right.
Maybe we're sitting here, we're doing the podcast, right?
Yeah.
Let's say someone from the older generation or more seasoned saint came and was like, hey, maybe you guys should do it that way.
Right.
And us immediately vetoing them, or maybe they want to know how the podcast works.
Right. That also is like a challenging thing. So it's really like in a general, I think for everybody, it should be an open mind thing. It shouldn't be like my way is the right way. The only way that's right way is God's way. So if we can't really just get that focal point down, there's not really a lot to get. There's a lot more groundwork to work on.
Yeah.
I think when people don't understand like the sovereignty of like God and why things are the way they are, like it's so easy to just be like, nah, my way. Nah, I'm going to do this way. Or nah, we already had this set plan instead of hearing it out, because last time I checked, Jesus had 12 disciples. Like, he didn't want Lonzo.
Are you really, like, how are you bringing souls to Christ? If you're, because, like, you never know. That can be someone's first,
right?
You know, and they come to you, and then you're like, nah.
Now they like, okay, now they got nothing else to talk about. They not, like, it's really, we're supposed to be a reflection of Christ. So, like, that's where that open-mindedness came from, because God is open to us. Like, he didn't deny us when we ask him questions all the time.
Yeah.
You're not ever going to deny us when we're in our turmoil, when we are confused or when we're lost. Like, that's what we're supposed to be, a reflection of that. So for us to be like closed-minded is just not of him.
No, absolutely. Okay, so then my next question is, where do young adults actually find this kind of community, and where they can also be sharpened? Okay, so where do young adults find said community where they can also be sharpened?
Sure. Like the body of Christ. That's really like not the building, but the community of people that really care about you, that really care about your well-being, care about your health, want to make sure you're good spiritually with the Lord, want to make sure that you're just living out what God is supposed to be. Because it's like the intentional design for us was to live in unity and harmony in the first place. So that's really what that is. It's the community that's all. It's not just the building itself. And yes, we are blessed with this building to be able to commune, but it's the body of Christ. It's church, the church itself, the people that are willing to, that have gave their life to Christ and have done that and are willing to share the love of God towards you. That's what's important. That's really what it is. That's where they can find that. The people that are willing to give that love, that show, demonstrate, and reflect that love of Christ, that's where they can find that.
I love that you mentioned that, because I think a lot of people may think it's the building.
Yeah.
When in reality, it's not the building.
The building is just there.
Yeah.
Church is the people.
Literally. Okay, so then last question. Can a younger person sharpen an older one, or does it only go one direction? We low-key touched on that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah. I know. I think you can.
No.
You definitely can.
I can learn from a 7-year-old today. That's if you keep him out. Because
I mean, yeah, you actually can, because if you think about it, the word says to have childlike faith. Children are kind of like really great people to learn from, because they kind of just, they clear everything. Yeah, like they're never, and they're fearless most of the time.
Yeah, 100%. Like it is very just different important things. Like if you keep your eyes open, it's not just like you said, when we're not in that bubble and you really open your eyes, you get to see the different characteristics, you get to see the different personalities, the uniqueness of certain people, and understand like everybody's testimony is unique.
Right.
So when you like have your eyes and ears open to that, you can learn from everybody.
Yeah, you definitely, there's a lesson in everything. There's something to learn in literally everything. I think if it were the reverse, older saint can definitely learn from a younger saint, for sure.
100%.
I mean, most of the time, traditions are changing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can literally have the Bible on your phone. They didn't have that.
No.
Yeah.
And like that, then it was more very confined, and there's a lot more, like more settings and more outside things that were affecting the church back then to where it is now. Because like right now in the current space, like we have a lot more freedom to talk about the Lord right now compared to what it was back then.
True. Very true. Very, very true. And I also think like just a lot of different things that have changed. I mean, the church has always been very welcoming. Right? We've always known that. But now, like, you're seeing people do like fashion, like tying in like their interest in with that. Like, I think, I don't know, everything, a lot of things have changed. So yes, 100%.
Thank you guys again for tuning in.
Thank you.
There's more to come, and we'll see you soon.
This Sunday.
Where at?
853 Gillum Road, Apopka, Florida.
Right?
Look up the zip code. The zip code at 10 a.m.
At 10 a.m.
Don't miss it.
And what challenge should we give them to leave off?
Follow us.
Right?
Right?
Yeah, no,
Right.
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Follow us at the Seat at the Table at Rejoice. We have it on Instagram, TikTok, and also on YouTube.